What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow Another One!
Another one!
Not Premier League, but it is a game, and it was against a Premier League team. Now, obviously, me and Gary in our preview were, slightly tongue-in-cheek, but we're also talking about the fact that it's not we don't care about the FA Cup. It's just not our priority right now. It's not our priority. And I will say, getting straight into the game, the thing that knocks me off, and this is what I hate about early cup games, injuries.
Yeah, man.
Kamara, I don't know how long he's out
Kamara.
for. I don't know how long he's out for. It looked like an impact injury, so hopefully it's less time than it could be.
Can anyone let us know in the comments if they've heard anything? Because I've read this morning. I haven't seen anything this morning that says what it is, how long he might be out for. And mate, a little part of my heart sank in that moment because I watched the challenge and I watched him react and get up and hold his knee, and he tried to carry on, and then literally 10 seconds after trying to carry on, he was like, and they booted the ball out, and he was down for ages.
How did Palhinha not get a yellow?
Oh, mate, we'll get into this in a minute because I'm fucking fuming about that fucking Spurs team. Honestly, right, first and foremost, two things. One, like, subscribe, hype, right? Thank you for all your support. I was at the game yesterday, I got a last-minute ticket, went live at the game. It was fucking incredible. We got 600 followers on TikTok. It was, honestly, thank you so much for hitting that like button, follow button, all that kind of stuff. It means the world. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is
mate, I'm desperate to go. We're playing them away in Feb, I think. So I'm gonna do my best to try and find someone with a ticket.
We're not playing them away in Feb. We've already played them away.
Have we?
Yeah, we won 2-1.
What was I thinking about? Oh, I was looking at any games that I could go to with interesting stadiums. It might have been like Old Trafford or something that I wanted to go to. Go on. Sorry.
Well, anyway, right, it's a thing of engineering genius as far as I'm concerned. It looks beautiful. I feel like it should be the national stadium. I think it's better than Wembley. I think it just looks.
This brings me on to like a bit of a debate question on that. So, like, obviously, everyone always talks about Villa Park, upgrading Villa Park. No, we don't want a new stadium. Blah blah blah. If you could have that, would you care in 10 years about the fact that it's not the original Villa Park?
Okay, so as much as I love that stadium yesterday, I wouldn't swap Villa Park for anything, mate. I wouldn't. I'd rather develop it. I think at the same time, it was brilliant atmosphere yesterday because I was sat with 9,000 Villa fans going mad, and that was awesome. But as a home ground, I think it falls very flat, and it's
just the fans though.
Well, maybe, but just like any football fan, even our fan base is like this, right? They only sing when there's any kind of moment of things. So for the best part of 55 minutes, that place was quiet apart from the Villa fans.
Yeah.
But look, unfortunately, or fortunately for us, not unfortunately, the team don't match the stadium. The stadium is fucking world class. The team of Spurs are fucking shit, right?
Shocking.
So,
well, the second half they showed a bit of fight, but that first half
they did. But mate, they've got. I said this before the game. I said it in our preview. They've got no firepower going forward. And then when Richarlison went off after 20 minutes, whatever it was, with a hamstring, and they brought what's his name? Fucking hell, Moani, right? I didn't even realise he was playing for the rest of the game. Honestly,
other than the disallowed goal because offside.
Yeah, but it was miles offside, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was him. Sorry, but there you go. But they didn't put a glove on us first half. We were superb, but it's a concern for Spurs. I think I'd be worried if I was a Spurs fan. That they then just resulted to kicking us up in the air, and how they didn't get more yellow cards. And Paulinho is a disgrace. There's a couple of tackles on Matty Cash and Boubacar Kamara, and the fucking audacity of Spurs fans come on a comment to boo Matty Cash for a challenge he did on Bentancur 3 seasons ago. You're a fucking disgrace because that it was. Glass houses, don't throw stones, mate. Like, just take care of your own fucking business before you start commentating on other people's teams. And they're shit, mate. Their season's over. They won't win the Champions League. They're not going to win the Europe. Thomas Frank, I think he's probably walking on very, very thin ice because ultimately,
mate. It looks like mate. He keeps on going. We need time to get our ideas now. I'm like. No, there's no sign of any ideas. Like, what are you trying to do?
Well, look, they said it after the game. I was watching Match of the Day and a coach on the way back, and they are basically saying that the players just didn't listen to what he said and did their own thing second half and went for it and kind of like you say they had that 10-minute spell when they scored, but I thought we then got back in control. Again, another resilient display from Villa that did what needed to be done and held on. We're getting really good at it, But first half, mate, we were untouchable. The first goal was was brilliant. It was brilliant.
What a goal. Lovely pass from Tielemans. Great from McGinn. That reverse pass from Marlon. You watched the replay. He didn't even look up. He just knew where he was.
Just know where it was.
Yeah. And what a finish, mate. Like, honestly.
Yeah. Mate, beautiful. Absolute limbs.
Yeah.
And I thought we kind of controlled the first half. And we had a couple of half chances. Cash had a shot from distance, but didn't really trouble the goalkeeper like we probably should have done. And that's a classic Villa case, right? You have lots of possession. Don't really, and you go 1-0. Fucking, it's still anyone's game. We need that second goal. So while Boubacar Kamara's injury was unfortunate, it did mean we had 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. And my word, did we save the second best passage of play for that? Because that second goal.
You had Tielemans on the pitch.
Well, yeah, and he was great. Look, Tielemans was superb when he came on, but they're paired together. I hope that Kamara's injury is it could be. Right, best case scenario, it could be like a dead knee because he's caught him quite across the knee, and maybe it's just an impact thing rather than anything, damage-wise. That's the best case scenario. But if he's landed awkwardly or it's twisted in the knock or anything like that, and it's caught, then fucking hell, right, I'm good. Fuck Spurs.
Yeah, right. I was speaking to Josh yesterday about it, and I was saying that is the one injury that we do not. That's if in my opinion. That's the only injury I do not want.
Well, how many times have we said, mate, if you take him out of our side, it weakens us.
And we've got, from next weekend, we have got 4 games in 11 days.
Yeah.
So if he is out for if he's out for a couple of weeks, he's going to miss all.
Don't get me wrong, Bogard did really well yesterday. I thought he had one of his best games. But it's not the same as play. It's not like for like. We're missing Amadou Onana as well, who probably could play there and has been really good this season. So, we've got to pray and hope that these two are fucking only out short term because, like you say, 4 games in 11 days, the squad's going to be fucking pushed to its limit, man. And
it's really struggling now because you're now going to have. I mean, like I said, there's only really 2 options to play in that holding, two combos to play in that holding mid, which is Bogard and Tielemans or Bogard and McGinn.
Yeah,
you can't. There's no Barkley. There's no Onana. There's potentially no Kamara.
But, mate, and this is a point. Like, I feel for McGinn because obviously he's captain Marv. He's been outstanding for us this season, playing out on that right where he's just wasted. But we need his energy and his work rate and his commitment to the team, which makes up for that. But yesterday he was central, and that first goal was all about that move, like what he's good at, like the speed of the play between Tielemans, him, like that 2 balls through the lines. It's undefendable. You can't do it because it's so quick. And when we do it like that it's fantastic to watch. Spurs fans will go, it's crap defending, but you have to give credit to Villa of how quickly they move the ball. Like I think any team would struggle to defend that kind of movement. It's undefendable, and sometimes you have to go. That's just a great goal, And if Spurs have scored a goal like that,
those 5 in the first half, I thought were just interchanging, interlinking beautifully. You'd see Marlon out on the right, you'd have Marlon in the middle, you'd have Rodgers on the left coming inside, you'd have Buendia drifting out, you'd have McGinn floating around, causing havoc, you'd have Tielemans picking things out from deep. It was just them 5. It was just lovely. It was just so every time we got the ball, I was like it felt like we were going to do something every time. And yeah, partly Spurs were poor, but we made them poor. Like, as in, if we play with that tempo, then we would have just been playing in front of them, and it wouldn't have been the same thing.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I expected Spurs to react at half time. You would expect that at home, and they came out, and for the first 10 minutes we didn't start, and they kind of took full advantage of that. They started to win the battle in midfield. We were sloppy in possession, giving the ball away. Their goal came from us losing possession, like trying to counter attack, and Matson was out of position, which left Odebear in fucking acres of space. But again, we have to talk about the reaction to that goal. Like, where was Villa? We've talked about it before. Whereas Villa teams in the past would crumble and you go, fuck, we're going to lose this game now. We didn't. You go about it. You keep doing the same things. And the resilience we showed, like Rodgers was superb. But my man of the match yesterday, mate, was Emi Buendia. Honestly, I thought he was.
I gave him a 90.
I gave him 90 as well. Mate,
yeah, I was
gave him
like,
90.
mate, what a performance! And I
not,
said it's great. It's great to see that because he's needed, because he went off the boil a bit, didn't we? And
yeah,
we both said
he
flat,
mate.
Minutes. Yeah, we said he needed minutes. He needed something to get back into it again. And yeah, he's fantastic.
So we have to give credit where it's due, and it wasn't just the goal or the assist, which are both fantastic things, but that's what is expected. That's his bare minimum. That's what he's in the squad to do. For me, it was his closing down and work rate. Like in the first half in particular, we were hunting impacts. It was brilliant to watch. It was like they were hungry to get the ball back. And mate, I've spoke to you about this so much in terms of the way, for me, successful teams that do that press really well together and work impacts, it nullifies anything that any opposition can do. It's what great sides have done. It's what Liverpool did to sides when you just can't get out. Man City do it to sides. And when you've got everybody working at that level, like you make it very, very difficult for teams to play. And it was just brilliant to see. He was the leader in that. He was the instigator of it lots of times. And so, yeah, it was buzzing for him. You know, he was unlucky not to get a goal in the second half, but cleared off the line from Pedro, I think, you know, after a good move down the right-hand side with linking up with Cash. Cash was great yesterday. Like, to a man, like, I thought they were excellent. I really did. Like, the application was just what you wanted to see. But it comes down to at what cost losing Kamara, like, because as we spoke about in the preview, it's not that I don't care about the FA Cup. I said in the preview, I've always loved the tournament. It's that, you know, the result on the way down with Macclesfield beating Palace and knocking them out. I was fucking buzzing, mate. Like,
what was that about?
It's the biggest shock, and that's what it's about, mate. Lower league teams being able to get against the big boys and showing that actually, quality standard-wise, teams can turn up in the lower leagues and beat Premier League teams, and that is what it's all about. And so I was buzzing when we got to the ground. That had happened. I thought, because if we get through, we ain't going to get Palace, right?
Yeah, we're not getting knocked out by Palace, are we? I'm hoping for Wrexham. I'm hoping for
Wrexham or Blues, mate. Wrexham or Blues, fucking bring it
mate,
up.
If we get Wrexham, home or away, I'm going, because I'll be able to get a ticket away through Graham.
Oh, mate, you've got to sort that out. No, you have.
Well, because Graham went, didn't he? Graham and Lewis.
Was he there on Friday? Okay.
Yeah.
Your father-in-law's in the house now. Text him right now and say, get on it, right? If we get Wrexham, you've got to get us tickets, mate. You don't let me down on this one.
The draw's tomorrow afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah.
The draw's tomorrow afternoon. No. Genuinely, if we get Wrexham away, I'm going.
No, not you're going. We're going. Don't fucking leave me out on this one, you prick. Right? I swear to God.
Where's my Spurs ticket? Spurs ticket?
I only had one. If I had two, I'd have offered to you. I offered you 3 away tickets last year, and you fucking turned me down. Right? So don't fucking say I don't offer you tickets. We're having an argument live on there. Anyway, I digress. It's a brilliant place to be in. Look, we're competing on every level. My worry is, unless we get some reinforcements in January, I know there's rumoured of certain players. Unless
talk about that.
And if that happens, brilliant. But you know, with that injury to Kamara, I'm nervous about that for the next couple of weeks ahead. Do you know what I mean? I think.
I've just done a quick search. There's no updated news.
Yeah. Well, mate, at the end of the day, right, as we've said before, let's just take one game at a time, right? But I was talking to a fan on the way back to the coach yesterday, and obviously I was in the euphoria of winning, and basically there was a chant going, we're going to win the treble, we're going to win the treble, and now you're going to believe us, and now you're going to believe us, right? So, mate, fuck it, why not? Under Emery, I'm so confident with the manager that we've got, and again, the special thing about yesterday, just like after the Arsenal game, is the togetherness of the players. The reaction to at full time, that scuffle, right? Where, to be fair to Watkins, right, I didn't know he had it in him, right? I got a little bit more respect for him because it was a little bit shithousery what he did. He walked, like, as he walked towards the fans, he purposely walked in front of Paulinho and went like that and bumped into him, right? And obviously Paulinho reacted. But then fucking Morgan Rogers, mate, I thought Morgan Rogers was going to rip his fucking head off.
Look like he was
in, right? And he was being held back by 4 players. Like, no, fucking let him go.
Yeah.
Let him
Kamara,
go.
I think Bogard had him in something.
It was crazy, and Watkins was just being nonchalant in front of the fans, celebrating, and it was.
But he's done that because they were dickheads. Because they were terrible, horrible.
They were
in the
dickheads,
game.
mate.
They were horrible on the pitch, and so then you get your comeuppance, you get what you deserve. Like, if you're going to do that, and if you're going to be like in the players' faces and stuff, when you lose, you got to be able to take it.
Yeah, mate, I'm happy to have any Spurs fan come on here or in the comments or debate that, because if you can honestly sit there and think and say with a straight face that Spurs weren't vile yesterday in what they were trying to do in the game plan second half, right? We're lucky that we've only come away with Kamara's a serious injury. You know, Cash ended up hobbling off. Cash nearly could have had his ankle broken by Polina. Right?
Yeah, I don't know about is Cash. I don't know the news on Cash either, because if we got both Kamara and Cash out again, we've seen that them two out.
In the first half, mate, he was looking to have his ankle broken. In the second half, like I don't know, it wasn't really a tackle. I think he kind of just they were doing like as if it was cramp, like stretching his calf out. So I don't know if it's a calf injury, but obviously he went off and Garcia came on and. Again, we need to strengthen it right back, mate. I had high hopes for Garcia, but again, he came on and
he's been out for a long time, though, isn't he?
I know. I guess I know
it is going to take a while. It's going to take a while.
Yeah, the jury's out on him yet. He hasn't, since he's been back and he's played a couple of games. He's not looked great, if I'm honest. So
looks like he's put on a bit. I don't know whether he's got put on a bit of stock or whether like muscle or whether he's put on a bit of weight. He looks a bit.
Well, mate, I'm not talking about any professional athlete's weight on this one. When we look
at
the team, mate, when we
fair enough.
Let's not be judgmental about people's weight, mate.
let's. So obviously, I mean, that's the game. Obviously, we have progressed. We are into the fourth round. The draw will be tomorrow. Draw will be tomorrow as we're filming this at 6:15. I think it's after the Liverpool game. It's at Anfield.
Yeah, I think it is.
Actually, not after the Liverpool game. Before, I'm sure it's at 5:45 or something like that. But anyway. So there's two big rumours doing the rounds at the moment in terms of incomings. One is Conor Gallagher, and the other is Mr. Tammy Abraham. I suppose Tammy first. Yeah, I suppose Tammy first. I think this one's got the most legs. I mean, we very almost signed him in 2023 in the summer. It was just unfortunately he then got his ACL, and so we pulled the deal. And then he then went on loan to AC Milan, and he's currently on loan to Besiktas from Roma. Seems to be doing well there. To be fair, I think the Turkish club, I think they like him. I think the fans like him and stuff as well. But but apparently, from what I read today, Besiktas have said they won't stand in his way if he wants to go to Villa.
Do you know what, mate? I've always said don't go backwards with players, right? And I loved him when he was here, and this is the same as I said with Grealish. Under Unai Emery, I'd have any of them back, because I think under the tutelage, like Tammy Abraham embodied what the Villa was about, and he was a fan favourite because he worked his nuts off, right, and scored goals, and that was, we haven't seen him for a while, and I haven't really followed his career, so I don't know how well he's done at AC Milan.
He's 28 now. He's got. I think he scored something like 11 goals in 18 appearances or something like that this season, or about 8 goals or something like that. He's almost 1 in 2 at the moment.
Well, mate, I just think that because he knows the club and because he knows what's expected, and
knows the Premier League as well.
Yeah, and the added bonus of having Unai Emery as a coach to develop him, if he's up for it, we need to strengthen in that area. If that's the only option we've got, because we need another reinforcement now. So I'd do it, mate. I'd absolutely pull the trigger and give it a go.
And I think he'd be. So I think we'd like to do a loan to buy, but I think from what I've read, Roma would want it to just be a deal, because I think they've already got a loan to buy with Besiktas. But Besiktas have got I think it's 11.4 mil obligation to buy at the end, option to buy at the end. So if we could get him for anywhere around 12 to 15 million, I actually think that's a pretty good deal for a 28-year-old striker who is proven in the league.
Yeah. At Chelsea, mate, for 20. Look, a couple of years younger than Ollie, knows the league, has played in it, been successful at both Villa and Chelsea.
I think he'd be happy to kind of also play challenge Ollie, as in play second fiddle until he can prove it, kind of thing. Mate, I think he'd be okay with it.
The more we talk about it, it's a perfect fit for now. From now to the end of the season, where we need that reinforcement, it makes sense. And if he's willing to come and the price is right, then fucking again, bang, just pull the trigger. Let's do it, because we can't fuck about here. We've got to get it done early. We've got, like you say, we've got 4 games in 11 days, so we need it done sooner rather than later. So let's get this business done and get it over the line.
It'd be by the end of the month. So it could be one of those ones that's like drags on a bit, like over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I personally, I think he's the right kind of profile. I think the type of player he is, because he does come a bit deep as well, like Ollie does, and he kind of drifts around. So actually, I think he'd work quite well. And like you said, hardworking. I think he was quite a likable character within the dressing room.
Right.
So I think
he suits Emery's MO, in terms of what he wants. So I think it's not a bad shape. Again, I've never really kind of liked going backwards, but I think for what it is and where we are now, and obviously we're this far into Emery's tenure, that I think you can see the benefit from it, from what he can do and his coaching ability to get the best out of players. So hopefully something like that can happen, mate. And
then on to Conor Gallagher. Now I have a bit of a theory on Conor Gallagher because he's an engine hard. Well, no, he's an engine hard-working central midfielder, right? Like he's that kind of player. So, and he's 26, I think, in like about a month's time.
I was going to say, yeah.
Is he like? Do you think he's the McGinn replacement for the next year or so? Because he's that kind of player that we need, which is what we lose when we lose him.
Mate, potentially, yes. I think that's not a bad shout. And I think Emery wants him. I think Emery's wanted him for a while. We tried to get him before. Now there's resurfaced. I think this is going to happen. I do. I think Barkley might be the end of Barkley, unfortunately, but injury prone. I think that'll be that. Which means that he takes that place. And actually, while we can sit here and say our midfield is stacked, well, it's not at the moment because we've just lost Kamara. We've lost Onana. So I think this is going to happen. I do.
Yeah. We also gives it. You've got to remember that we need different ways of playing, and so like sometimes you don't always want to have those two more kind of defensive mind, like with Onana and Kamara, both two physical kind of holding mids. You maybe want one who's going to drive on a bit, and obviously Onana does sometimes do that, but I feel like Conor Gallagher's maybe a little bit more advanced in the way he would play. Right, he'd be more like an 8 than a 6. So like I feel like Conor Gallagher would make sense there, and so he's kind of fell out of favour at Atleti, and I mean there was like we said, there was rumours about this before. Emery definitely wants him. He's the kind of profile. He's in his like mid to late 20s. He's in his prime. He's got Premier League experience. He's done it in Europe. So it does make sense. And if we can get, I think again it's looking for a loan to perm deal. PSR stuff and all that malarkey. But again, it's another club that they don't want that. They want a permanent exit. So I think if it was going to happen, I think we would have to do it on an obligation with no kind of like appearance kind of clause. Yeah.
So I'm TikTok live, mate. I've got a guy that comes into my live and he might be absolutely full of shit. So I'm taking this with a massive pinch of salt, right? But I've told him about it before. It's a guy called pinch of salt. Right?
It's got Dutch.
But it's a guy called Asib who his profile picture absolutely is he claims to be one of the nutritionists at Villa, right?
Oh, you've said this, yes. He's come on before talking about something.
He's come on before, right? And he's dropped little nuggets that haven't been untrue, right? So I'm like,
okay.
I take it with a pinch of salt.
You should get him on.
I have tried, right? And maybe he will come on in the close season, but he won't do it during the season, if that makes sense. That's what he said to me, right? So I don't know, right? But but I see, this isn't a criticism of you. I'm just kind of sitting on the internet skeptical. You get a lot of weirdos on there. Lots of people say lots of things to me on the internet, and most of it's not true. But
most of them want to try and get them a contract at Villa, don't they?
Well, yeah, exactly. That I'm the world's best scout. Like you watch it happens, and then people. This one kid was one. Gazza signed me as well, and then I end up with fucking more messages in there, right? But then they start messaging other bit. It's funny, right? It's funny. I love it. Keep doing it. And but basically, Steve's saying if we get Champions League, basically we're spending big in the summer. It's happening.
Yeah.
Like that's what he said. Like it's kind of, it opens the floodgates because of I think there's the stability of where the club is actually going with the deals that's going in, the expansion of the ground, this new partnership with El Gunna, I think it's pronounced. I don't know. I don't like that, which is Wes Eden's brother's company in Egypt. not dodgy in the slightest, but like here we go. And sorry, not was it Nassif Sarris, yeah, look, I think we're going in the right direction, and Champions League football 2 seasons out of 3 is nothing to be sniffed at. I think as a global brand, the club is going to get bigger next year, and so probably attract even more. And I think they're going to gamble on it because I don't. This is what reading that book, which I will lend to you. I haven't quite finished it, mate, but when I've finished it, you can read it. Emery's committed to it, mate. I just don't see like at the moment until. Like, and I don't mean that people go, "Oh, once he wins a trophy, he's off." I think it's more than that. I think it's kind of a legacy of going. I want Villa competing for the league and the Champions League year in year out.
He feels old, not about like old school, like as in I feel like he's like a Wenger or a Fergie or someone that's going to be around for a good decade. If he can keep growing it and it can match his aspirations.
And if I'm honest, reading the book, I think that's what he's wanted at every club he's been at, right? But there's been restrictions or for whatever, or, with Arsenal, the success didn't come straight away, so you're gone. PSG, the same sort of thing. Like, fewer results, you're gone. You're not given that time. And Villa, the reason why he took it is because of that project. So I'm really confident that, like I say, that we can spend in the summer. Now, I've got no real sources of that. I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure, but I just think that in terms of where we are at, all the talk around the club, what is public knowledge, points in that direction. So I think we're going to be in a very strong position if we finish in the Champions League this season.
Well, mate, sorry, but like if you get European football of some kind 4 seasons in a row, is this the this is the third one, right?
This is the third one. This will be 4th.
Yeah, so it'll be 4 seasons in a row. 2 of those being Champions League, 1 being Europa League.
Yeah.
You've spent negative net in those 4 years. If you then can't spend the following season, I literally don't understand. And I work for a finance company. Yeah. I literally don't understand finances anyway. Like literally, I'm like, what do you have to do? You have to basically have sustained success for about 10 years before you're allowed to spend. I don't understand. So surely, if we get Champions League this season,
that just says that it's corrupt, because if you're going on the PSR stuff, that's exactly what we're doing. We are being responsible, and it's sustainable. The club structure is sustainable now.
Everyone always goes up. The thing that drives me mad, the thing that really pisses me off.
Oh, it really pisses me off. Matt, your face then was, I'm going to freeze frame that. Really pisses me off.
But it really pisses me off. And people go on about it, going, "Oh, but your wages are so high."
Oh, fuck.
I'm like, yeah, but but like the thing, just to break this down. So your wages need to be high. Your wages need to compete at the level you're in, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in the Champions League, to have players who compete in the Champions League, you need to pay, and for them not to leave the club and go to another club, you need to pay Champions League level salaries, right? Yeah. Which is set by the fucking massive clubs all around the world. They're paying stupid money.
Yeah.
So, and I get it. I'd be kind of going, okay, yeah, you're right. If we'd gone out and basically bought 6-7 of our starting 11, but we haven't. Yeah. What is this shit? What the fuck is this 6-7?
It's 2025, mate. It's that 2025.
7 or 8 of your starting 11, right? So if you've gone out and bought that, or paying them stupid wages, I'll be going, yeah, you've put yourself into a bit of trouble there. You spend a bit silly. You got a bit wild. But we haven't done that. The players who are being paid well have been improved by Emery. And they've been rewarded with salaries that match the level they're playing at.
Yes.
How is that us spending stupid money and going crazy and basically trying to buy success? It drives me insane when people.
It is insane, but that just what it highlights, right? As football fans, we're fickle creatures. We've got our bias towards our own teams, and we don't look into the ins and outs of how clubs are run, right? So we have a snapshot of an opinion. And that's what happens, right? So people aren't studying us like we study us, and we know that that's the case, and that actually we're moving within keeping with what we trying to do. And there's no coincidence why we are where we are, because we've done that. Like you say, Emery's improved players, they've been rewarded for that. And that's as simple as it is. It's not about going out just buying players willy-nilly.
I'm not saying we haven't made mistakes with previous managers. You know, we paid
Yeah.
stupid money with
we have.
Coutinho, all that kind of thing previously.
Look, we went through a period, didn't we, after Martin O'Neill, where we were spunking money up the wall, and it killed us. We nearly went.
Habib, back then, you think about that, it was mid-2000s. I'm sure I read we were paying Habib Bey something like 60 grand a week. I think he played 3 games.
He's retired on that. He's sitting on a beach somewhere going, this is my island in the sun. We've made major mistakes, mate. I'm not saying but you cannot criticise, for me, as any football fan, what Unai Emery has done in the last 4 years. You just can't. Or 4 seasons, sorry. And it's naive, and you are probably just a little bit stupid, if I'm honest, if that's what you think.
Ignorant, you haven't really done your research.
Yeah, it's ignorance, mate. Look, as I've said before, let them talk, let them speculate, right? Let them write us off, and let's just go about our business. Look, in the preview for this, I genuinely wasn't fussed about that game yesterday. If we lost it, it was kind of like, okay, we focus on this. If we win it, brilliant. Right? Obviously, I support the team, and I want us to go as far as we possibly can. People coming at me, we haven't won a trophy in 30 years. No, I get that, right? But can we just think about the big picture? I want to continue to win. I don't want to win one trophy and then it go away forever, right? Exactly. I want to win multiple trophies. I want to win trophies every year, and that's what Emery wants to do. You can see it's about building. So yes, and he's right, better than we are. He's gone pretty much full strength yesterday to try and win that game, right? Because
he's rotated though. He's done what the usual rotation. Marlon's come in. He's put Maatsen instead of Digne. He's put obviously Powell's come back in. He's
so
in.
I want to say that back four for me yesterday, the starting back four is my back four, mate. Yeah. For now, and that's what it needs to be. Because I thought they were outstanding first half. I love Maatsen. I love his pace. He's such a threat going forward. He's getting better defensively by each game. Torres, great to have him back again. Looked a little bit rusty, but that ability to play through the lines against teams like in the Premier League is something we've missed massively. And I think it led to our first goal. I think he plays it to Tielemans. Tielemans then to McGinn.
Struggle defensively against pace, like we've said a few times.
Yeah,
that's his Achilles. But every player has an Achilles.
I'll die on the hill that he's as slow as fuck. But with the midfield we've got, we do prevent balls being played in behind us, and that means he's not very often being turned towards his own goal. If we can do that, then he's a great defender. And with the ball in front of him, he's one of the best footballing defenders in the Premier League, easily. Right. Matty Cash, again, another solid performance at right back. I think he's just, this season, I think he's proved all the haters wrong. And let's just hope he's fit. And Konza, mate, is a fucking Rolls Royce. If he don't start the World Cup, and like, honestly,
I was literally talking to some guys at work, and then they were talking about like centre backs. They're like, we were talking about the England, who's going to be starting in the England team. And obviously there was a talk about like Bellingham, and they were like, oh, I don't know if I'd add Rodgers. I was like, you guys are mental. This guy. I was like, to think that he's not going to potentially play Bellingham and Rodgers in that team is mad, because that's an unbelievable 2 players in your midfield. And then they were talking about the centre, and they were like, oh, John Stones and Guehi. I was like, are you mad? I was like, Ezri Konsa. And they were like, nah. I'm like, just because he's not your flashy fucking big name, like
because he's not in a big 6 team, you mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. I hate it. Right. These are Spurs fans,
mate. For Spurs fans, because I've upset Spurs fans. Before the Forest
was this the Romero concert?
It was the it was the Romero. No, it was, who was it? I can't remember whoever it was. Yeah, and I choked. No, Ledley King concert, right? And they all came at me, mate. Like, and I was like, chill out. But Ledley King was one of the most overrated Premier League defenders.
Only play like one game.
He spent all his time injured, right? So that started reading facts. He had 21 caps for England. Konza's got 17, and he's just about to go to the World Cup and probably playing every game, so he's going to smash that out of the water, right? Yeah. The deludiness of some fans, right, fucking pisses me off, right? You know, and they come at you with hate. It just makes me laugh. So you just drop little snippets, don't you? I go, yeah. and Morgan Rogers is better than Heung-min Son. And mate, he all fucking kicked off. It's like, it's just, I fucking love it. Son for me is one of the best players that's ever graced the Premier League, right? But I know Rogers' potential, so I said Rogers has got more potential. I knew it would fuck them all off. Like, doesn't know what he's talking about. Doesn't know what. I just fucking love it, mate. The rage bait is funny.
And I know that we, obviously we're massive Villa fans, and we will back the club whenever possible to the hilt. I like to think, and I know that earlier on in this in our pod when we started this channel, some of the early videos, I remember people coming on going, "Oh, you got to stop. You got to be more objective," and all this stuff. And I like to think we are relatively objective. Like I like to think that we are realistic as well. We kind of, we do some tongue-in-cheek stuff. We do some tongue-in-cheek stuff with some of the things, and we go a bit over the top. But you have to. You're a fan, right? But I do like to think we're pretty balanced, and I think we know the weak points of our players. We know the positives of our players. And it was the same when people were doing like the combined Villa Man U 11s and stuff. I was just like, Bruno Fernandes is maybe the only player I'd take.
Yeah. But again, it's the entitlement of these big six teams that have been around being successful for years. They just think they automatically go into those things because they can't possibly have players. Villa have had some world-class players throughout their history, and it's just a bit rose-tinted glasses. I would, I've got to have a little bit involved in the rage bit with the Spurs. I genuinely don't think Rodgers is better than Heung-min Son yet. I think he's got the potential to be better, right? He's got a lot to prove.
Son now isn't as good as Rodgers.
But Son should never have played at Spurs, mate. He should have been in a better team. He'd have been so much more successful, right? And same with Harry Kane leaving. Like both those players, world class, and should never ever have been at Spurs because they wasted their careers really fuck all.
They would have absolutely bossed it. But anyway, cool. That's probably about it, I think, for this one. So we've got tomorrow we're doing our usual weekly thoughts. And then we have got, it's Everton, isn't it, next?
It's Everton on Sunday. Yep.
Is it Sunday?
Is it Sunday? I think it's Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going.
It's the 18th. When's the 18th?
18th is a week from today. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
So is it the 2 o'clock?
No, I don't know. Let me just double check. I think it might be 4:30.
As always, we are prepared for this. Oh, let's actually, while you're doing that, mate.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, 4:30.
4:30.
4:30 kickoff.
Okay, cool. So let's see how we're getting on here. So Carl has actually jumped ahead because did he get it bang on? He got it bang on. That's what's done it. So Carl has extended at the top. He's pulled ahead of Juice. He's gone for the 2-1. We went for a 2-0. So we get a lonely point there. Let's have a look at what other the predictions there were. Sarah Bennett went for a 3-0. She went for a 3-0.
Yeah, she's confident, mate. She was confident.
Yeah, Sean RTG has also got a 3-point there. He is currently sat in 9th. He's done well, actually. 4 predictions, and he's got 1 exact already. To be fair, Sarah's done 5 and got 2 exact, mate. She's got almost as many as exact as we have.
What can I say, mate? She's learning from the best. She's learning from the best.
Yeah. So
actually,
yes,
she's just brilliant herself. It's fuck all to do with me.
So as always, guys, if you do want to join everyweekbrewpredict.com, it's completely free. Just sign up with your email address, set a password, and you can make predictions. It's not all done and dusted yet. Carl isn't necessarily
long way to go.
You can still get there with a few correct results. It will be difficult though because you'd have to get 8 exacts to get that. So yeah, it will be difficult.
But it's like Villa's chance of winning the league, mate. It's not impossible.
Not impossible.
Get guessing.
It's just unlikely, mate. Right. Awesome. So we will be back on, with it being a Sunday, we'll probably come back on the Friday for the preview of Everton.
The game,
I'm feeling quite confident with that, especially with it being at home. I think after that result, it's nice to have a home game. I think that'd be good.
Mate, I back us against anyone at home. Like I just do. I don't think we're going to lose the game. I think we'll win it. I think we'll want a little bit of revenge for how poor we were at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. That 5-game shitness. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. No Jack Grealish as well because he
did
his little clap thing.
He doesn't want to play
against us, does he?
there's going to be no Grealish. There's going to be no Duran when we play Fenerbahce either.
Fenerbahce.
So I'm looking forward to both of those things.
Yeah.
But we will be. We'll come on if there's any kind of like big transfer news or anything happens.
Yes.
We'll do some impromptu catch ups. But yes, Monday and then Friday next week. Gaz, any final thoughts and sing us out?
Yes, mate. Final thoughts is this. I've got to give a big shout out to Harry Turner, because at the end of the game yesterday, in that big kerfuffle that was all going off, right? This is a guy who sorted me out a ticket last minute. So he's had a sign made that said our meatball with John McGinn. He was holding up loud and proud. McGinn came over and I was screaming my head off going, John, McGinn, fucking look at this sign. And then he looked up and he didn't. He pointed at it and he came over and he threw his shirt at Harry. And Harry's like his biggest fan, mate. He's been trying to get a shirt off him for like 8 years, apparently.
Wow.
And he did it and he was absolutely buzzing. So it was a great way to end the day. We through to the fourth round, McGinn shirt in the bag, and a mammoth coach journey home. I didn't get home until fucking 1 a.m. after dropping. We had the best coach driver in the world, by the way, because he started dropping individual people at fucking their houses, right? Which was
wow, that's unreal.
Right, which was lovely, right? But apart from it,
forever.
the last stop, right? So I was like, fuck, right? And so my wonderful wife, God bless her, come and pick me up from Aston at fucking 12:30, 1:45, and then I was starving when I got back, so I had some chicken dippers, and then I went to bed. It was banging. All right, so that leaves me to put one thing going. As always, guys, like, subscribe, hype, hit the follow button, and we'll see you tomorrow for the weekly thoughts. Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. I'm surprised my voice is still there. Boom.
See ya.